Now, this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a bit, but just never really knew how to talk about it. It's one of those topics that come up every so often when talking to a few friends about Sonic, but honestly, Sonic needs a new villain in the spotlight. And here's why. The Sonic the Hedgehog franchise has shown off many villains other than Eggman before, and has even shown off Sonic and Eggman working together to stop other villains. But I feel like it's becoming more and more redundant to have Eggman as the main antagonist almost every game. Like, I understand why. While he's not the only person in the universe that wants to deal with Sonic and get rid of him, he is the most intelligent one, and is by far the most technologically advanced one. But there are just some times when I'm sitting around hoping that there'd be someone new or someone more threatening to come along while Eggman resides in the shadows to plan his new plan for whenever the time may come for his return. Now, I know a lot of people will point out that there are multiple other newly introduced villains in the recent IDW comic releases, and there have been some villains here and there other than Eggman throughout the series. In any form of media, really, from the games to the comics to literally anything else Sonic has. I'm not saying this because I dislike Eggman. I think he's a brilliant villain. The fight has always been centered around Sonic versus Eggman, which is a very admirable fight, but it's also nice to have rivals pop up every now and then, much like when Shadow was introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, or how Sonic's main rival in Sonic Riders was Jet, someone who consistently challenged him to see who's faster in a race. And of course, how could anyone forget Metal Sonic? Literally the robotic counterpart of our blue hero, and someone who took the spotlight in Heroes, as well as the IDW comics in his alternate, more powerful form, Neo Metal Sonic. And of course, we also have the Deadly Six, but they'd be better off somewhere else, in my honest opinion. A lot of people might also like to give an honorable mention to Infinite, who had an unfortunate shortcoming to his introduction in Forces. Seriously, he could have been handled so much better, but I personally feel if I had the option to choose who would be the next villain to spotlight, I do sound a bit redundant here, but honestly, I would go with Metal Sonic, and here's why. Metal Sonic has proven to already pretty much be up against Eggman. He's shown that he has no interest in working with him at all, at least in the gaming side of things. I know the comics are a completely different story, but they're also not canon, and that's the biggest villain to the franchise as a whole. Seriously, why aren't these canon, Sega? Not to mention, since Metal Sonic probably has connections to Eggman's database, he could always be one step ahead of Eggman, and enact on what Eggman plans on doing way before Eggman would even have the chance to get around to doing it, causing for even more of an interesting turnaround of events. And before anyone mentions Forces, because Metal Sonic was a threat in that, he was also an illusion made up by the Phantom Ruby. If Metal Sonic was still on buddy-buddy terms with Eggman, I don't think Eggman would have needed the Phantom clone of him to step in for his place. On top of that, Metal Sonic knows Eggman's robots more than Eggman himself, considering he is one. He's able to communicate with them, organize armies of them better than Eggman ever could. He stands tall as a leader for without any flaws. He also knows how to use them to his advantage, and if we talk about his attitude in the form of Neo Metal Sonic, it just completely spikes up. Literally. Neo Metal Sonic can take form of anyone he so sees fit, which is something I'd love to see used. By copying the chaos data of someone, he can literally transform into them. I mean, let's face it, he's done it like twice, once as Eggman and once as an E-Series robot from Riders, where he disguised himself to be on Team Dark in Sonic Free Riders, which was actually outside of his Neo form, so if he can just do that with free will, this advantage could come in handy, especially if he wants to trick a certain person like Sonic. He could disguise himself as Tails and lead Sonic on, or vice versa. Better yet, he's unable to be detected by Omega, oddly enough. I'll never understand how that works. So even if he were to put on the disguise and hang around Sonic's friends with Omega around, there would be no questions about it, considering Omega wouldn't be able to detect anything wrong or out of place. Talk about a nearly perfect rival. It's a shame that he hasn't been used as much as I feel like he should have been, and I don't know, maybe Sega wants to use him more with this new direction they're taking with Sonic. I mean, he is appearing in Sonic Colors Ultimate as a rival for Sonic to race against. Maybe this is a step in the right direction for bringing Metal Sonic back into the mix of things, which would be highly appreciated. Plus, Metal Sonic is always upgrading, learning, becoming stronger, better, and faster. As we saw in Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisps, he can even be modified to use the power of the Wisps, making him an even more threatening rival. I mean, of course, some could look at Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisps and Sonic Colors Ultimate and question why Metal Sonic is working with Eggman there, when it seems like he would be against him otherwise. Eggman's no stranger to building newer versions of his own machines, but who knows, maybe there's a side of the story we don't know about. Maybe Metal Sonic only sides with Eggman when he feels like he could learn something useful to then turn right back around and use it against him in the future. The intentions of Metal Sonic are all over the place, I must admit, but there's no doubt that this is a villain that deserves another shot in the spotlight. He's fearless, he's a great leader, and he can do most of the things that Eggman cannot do, especially when it comes to controlling his whole Badnik army, which yes, the Deadly Six were able to do, but I still feel like Metal Sonic could do a much better job than both Eggman and them put together, just because, well, again, he is Eggman's creation after all. He should and would know the Badniks better than anyone else, but I know Eggman will always remain as #1 priority when it comes to Sonic games, just because, well, he's Eggman. He's the man with the master plan, and he most certainly is ignorant, not wanting to give up until he finally has claimed victory. But that's my opinion. Heck, we could even have a new rival pop up and I'd just be as interested. What do you think? Do you think Eggman's getting a bit old? Do you prefer Eggman more? Do you want another villain? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell for more uploads like this. I do want to give a heads up though. While I have been covering an immense amount of Sonic content on this channel, I will be branching out to talking about some of my other favorite things and interests. Talking about Sonic can get boring after a while and very exhausting, so expect the Crash Bandicoot video or Spyro the Dragon video sometime soon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Are you sure you saw a door over here? What? You were the one who said you saw a door over here! Well, I know it was one of us. Shut up and keep looking.